Hello everyone, this is Wendy Reynolds. This is my final presentation for the Communications 320 class. Today I'm talking about how digital communications have influenced how we interact with our own family members as well as other people, our friends, our family, our bosses, and people we pass by on the street or in the grocery store. I watched Sherry Turkle's video, Connected But Alone, and that's what brought me to this topic. She talked about how initially she thought that digital communication, or this digital society we've moved into, would be a great thing, that it would help us expand the knowledge that we have about ourselves, expand our definition of ourselves, who we are, who we want to be. And then we would take this information and we would go away and talk to people and expand even further and live our lives in real time, in real life. Now, she talked about that, I believe, in her book in 1996. And here we are, 2016, that's very nearly 20 years later. Or 2015, I'm sorry, nearly 20 years later. And we don't do that anymore. We talk to one another through text messaging and Facebook. And, well, we've got Skype. Let's not say it's all bad. We've got Skype, which isn't unlike what I'm doing right now, which I find some irony in, that I'm doing this video, communicating with you, my classmates, and my instructor on a tablet that I'm going to post on YouTube. And with the exception of Tony, I've never met anybody else in the class. I feel a little disconnected. I don't find technology to be helping with our interconnectedness as a society, as a race. I think it's doing more harm than good. I think, as I observe people, especially younger than myself, they can't pull themselves away. I look at a young woman that I work with, and we'll be walking along, coming back from lunch, or headed out of the building to go home for the day, and this is what I see. This is what I see. And I see all of them doing it. And when I say young woman, she's probably 10 to 15 years my junior. And I frequently say to her, Kristen, look up. Look where you're going. Because she's not looking where she's going. She has no idea if she's about to run into somebody. Well, I think our impatience with communicating in person, or I think this is actually creating impatience with communication in person. We don't wait for someone to verbally flesh out an idea. We want it right now. Just spit it out, whatever it might be. We can hide in our digital communications. That's one thing that Mrs. Turkle actually pointed out, is we can hide. We can create whatever persona we want. So one day I'm the fantastic professional, the next day I'm Wonder Woman or something. I don't know. I'm not very good at not being who I am. So trying to create a false persona just doesn't work for me. But a lot of people do. A lot of people put on the mask. We all put on masks to some degree. But they go much further and they create this whole other person. And I think we do it because we want to stay connected, but keep people at a safe distance. Know me, but don't know me. I only give you what I want you to know. I only let you get as close as I want you to get. So I think this is hurting us. We also don't know how to be alone anymore. I actually found this to be true about myself, and I actually enjoy being alone. I live alone. I have for the better part of 15 years since my husband and I divorced, separated and divorced. I've had my sister as a roommate and one other for short periods of time, and the rest of the time I've been alone. And I rather like it like that. The only exception I'll make is my partner and I, if he and I decide to cohabitate, which we probably will, but that's a different dynamic. But I've found recently that if I'm sitting here alone and feel like I don't have anything better to do, I just can't sit and think anymore. That's scary to me because I used to be able to sit and think for very long periods of time. And so I'm sitting here thinking, I don't have anything better to do, which isn't true. I should be doing homework. I jump on Facebook. I want to see what's going on. Who's been on Facebook? Hey. But that doesn't tell us anything about anybody. We can kind of keep our finger on the pulse, but we aren't really knowing people. It doesn't give us an opportunity. Now, I will say this, and I have experienced this with some people who have a certain amount of anxiety and trust issues. I have found that the digital forum, particularly text messaging, because Facebook, you put up cryptic messages when you're upset about something, and it's so weird and cryptic that nobody knows what you're talking about, and that's very frustrating. But I have found, at least with one individual that's a very good friend of mine, that he feels more comfortable disclosing personal details about himself either over the phone or via text messaging. He feels much safer that way. But I also understand where my friend is coming from. My friend has been hurt a lot, emotionally damaged by his previous relationship. So he has a lot of trust issues, especially where women are concerned. And he's just a friend, but still, he likes to keep people at a safe distance. So his disclosures that are personal come through the digital format, and he's much more comfortable with that. But I am not. I'm very much the kind of person that wants to be with someone in person and having that personal conversation. So I feel like all of these mediums are now doing more damage than good. So I feel like one of the best things that every single one of us can do is put down our tablet, put away our phone, walk away from the computer, and go find somebody to sit down in front of and have a conversation. Have a good night. Thank you.